So it's Thursdays, hips and hammies. So as you come down to your mat, onto your back body, again, if it feels good for you, and I love this because it just brings in breath, opens up all that forward rounding that we do all day long. Maybe elevate your chest either on a block or a towel, and maybe use that block in the back of the head initially, just so you're not cranking through your neck, that your chin is kind of tucked. Squeeze to the shoulder blades to kind of let those shoulder tips drop. And if it's not too much of an opening early this morning, maybe we find Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Again, any support that you need underneath those thighs so that there's nothing to hold up. As you settle into your mat, maybe close down the eyes. Maybe allow the hands to rest somewhere on the body. And as you just begin to notice your breath, your nice normal rhythm of breath. Let the mind watch the hands rise and fall. And just notice your normal quality of breath and the duration of breath. And then take that body scan and just notice where you might be unintentionally clenching. Could be the jaw, could be the hips. Maybe as you begin to deepen the breath, longer inhales, longer exhales, you might notice the clenching dissolve. The physical body more relaxed on the mat. And as you even deepen the breath further and lengthen that exhale, maybe you notice that monkey mind quiet down. Monkey mind. I think it was Buddha who said, it's like a monkey jumping from tree to tree to tree. It's like our mind jumping from thought to thought to thought. So just again, deepen the breath. Let the mind watch the breath. And let everything settle down to the mat. If Ujjayi pranayama is in your practice to constrict the throat, it also gives the mind something to listen to. So feel the breath under the palms, maybe listen to that constriction of the breath, and then just one more big inhale. And exhale, release everything. On your next breath, if you are in butterfly pose, hands to the outside of those thighs just to draw the knees together. Roll to one side. Remove what's ever underneath your head, what's ever underneath your spine. Return back down to your mat and enjoy a nice full body stretch. Send those fingers long, the toes further away. Maybe make some wiggles through the shoulders, through the hips. Feel into the front and the back body. And then on your inhale, draw those knees into the chest, maybe hug around the shins, pull the knees in, pull the tailbone up. Just feel that stretch first in the low back. And then just kind of release that tailbone back down. Maybe take a rock side to side, one hip bone to the other. And returning back to center, let's hold the left knee in towards that outer rib. So interlace around that shin, draw it in, and slowly extend the right leg up to the ceiling. So flexing that right foot, let that heel kind of push its way up. Any degree of bend into the knee. Press the heel, relax the shoulders, unleash the jaw. And then maybe some movement through that right ankle, one way and the other. Waking up the calf and the front of the ankle with a flex of the foot, heel towards the ceiling, followed by the toe reaching for the ceiling. So just take a couple, flex and point. And then return to that flexed foot. Spread those toes wide. Take a little pinch of those toes and draw them in. And then open them back up wide and draw them in. And again, each movement, just notice what you notice. And then just turn it out through that ankle one more time. Returning to that flexed foot, heel up. That right leg is going to go down to the mat as slow as you can take it. And the reason we go slow is because you need to feel as it comes about halfway, the quad has to engage. Maybe that back body is kind of arching up. See if you can pull the belly in. As the heel comes further down towards your mat, maybe you feel that right psoas hip flexor engage. When it arrives, press down through the heel, send the heel away. On the left side, just take a gentle right and left rock through that left hip. Let's return that to like neutral, come back, interlace right around that left hamstring. Here again, squeeze those shoulder blades in. From that belly button all the way to the crown of the head, let everything relax as you lift the left leg up to the ceiling. Leading again with the heel, toes pointing down towards your face. Any amount of bend into the knee, just beginning to wake up the back of the leg. Scoop the belly in. Draw the breath in, and on your exhale, see if you can bring that left thigh in a little closer to the ribs. And then release it back up towards the ceiling, stacking that femur right over the hip joint. And we'll just do that a couple more times. So notice how it feels. Draw the thigh in, foot is flexed, shoulders soft. Send it back. Using your breath. Next time the thigh comes in close to the body, hold there. Maybe walk the hands to the calf. Again, without bringing any tension into the upper body, so shoulders remain soft. Getting a nice stretch here, maybe to the ankle. Hold the thigh in close. Take in a full breath. And as you exhale the breath, just half happy baby here. So bend into that left knee, draw that knee down towards that left shoulder. Either continue to hold on to that ankle or behind the knee, or maybe reach for the big toe or the blade edge of the foot. Draw the knee down. At the same time, press the foot into the hand so you have some resistance here. Draw in the belly and notice where you feel sensation. And then soften with the breath. Big breath in. Slow breath out. On your next inhale, we're going to bend into the right leg and plant the right foot on the mat, right by its tip bone. We're going to draw that left ankle across the body so that it can rest on that right thigh. Left foot being flexed, again, toes pointing back towards its shin. Level out your hips. Maybe your finger pads come into the left thigh as you gently encourage the left knee away from the body. Again, hips are level, belly is in, upper body is soft. So just as that knee presses away from the body, just notice what you feel here. Maybe a little more space around that hip joint. Take in a breath. As you release the breath, we're just going to let that knee fall in towards the body, over towards that right shoulder, maybe both hands. Come and kind of hug it in. Nice counter stretch here, moving right through that piriformis, IT band, the glutes. Take in a full breath. And then send the knee back. Again, figure four position. Maybe you use the finger pads, maybe you don't. Send the knee away from the body. And then without the use of the hands, using the power of your core and the power of your hips, the whole leg structure lifts so that the shin comes closer to the chest. Now both feet are flexed. Here you can interlace and pull around the right thigh and pull it in a little bit deeper. Again, using the left elbow to help keep the left knee away from the body. And as you take the next inhale, again, starting from the top, release any facial tension, the jaw, the tongue, shoulders relax down, and the belly soft. 2 breaths here as you feel right into the left hip joint. Next inhale, we'll gently release the clasp around the right thigh. Let the right foot come back down to the mat. Release the left ankle, draw the left knee back into the chest. Let the right knee join it. Maybe here, take a little rock, one side to the other. And this time, we're going to hold the right knee in and slowly extend the left leg up to the ceiling. Again, heel leads the way. Once it arrives, movement through the ankle, rolling one way and the other. Activating the calf and the Achilles. Find that flex, heel towards the ceiling, followed by the toe to the ceiling. And then alternate back and forth, heel and toe. And then we'll return to a flexed foot, flare those toes, and draw them in. Let them go wide. And pinch them in, make that fist with the toes. And then back wide, and then maybe roll it out one more time. And then we'll flex through that heel. Again, heel pressing away as slow as you can go now. Again, left leg this time begins to descend down to the mat. As you move slow, maybe you feel the kneecap, the quad engage. Keep the flex into that heel. Maybe you notice that inner thigh, that psoas hip flexor. And when the heel finally comes down, press it down and away. So nice, active left leg, foot is flexed. Coming over to the right hip, just gentle movement. An inch or so one way and the other, just into the right hip joint. Then we'll interlace around the right hamstring. Flex that right foot and slowly lift the right leg to the ceiling. So different leg, different side. Feel it out as the leg is right over the hip joint. And then as you soften the whole upper body, draw the belly in and draw the thigh in closer to the body. And then let it return right over its hip joint. So a couple times here, just pulling it in, releasing it back. Next time it's in, hold it in. Again, squeeze those shoulder blades together behind you so the shoulders soften. Inhale, maybe we walk the hands up to the calf. Feeling out this side of the body, maybe we take it to the ankle, maybe not. Take the breath. And then slowly begin to bend into the right knee, drawing it down towards that right shoulder, moving into that half happy baby. So again, your choice. You can take that forearm right around the knee crease. You can continue to hold the calf or the ankle, or maybe reach up for the foot. Wherever you are, draw the knee down. Begin that opening through the back of the glute, the low back. Take a couple breaths here. On the next inhale, we're going to bend into that left knee. We're going to plant the left foot. Take the right ankle across to rest on the upper left thigh. Again, level out the hips. And once you arrive in this figure four shape, again, maybe the finger pads lightly pressing inside the right thigh encourages that right knee away. And as you hold that for a breath or two, again, see where you can soften and notice what you notice going on in that right hip here. Easy breath. One more inhale. And on the exhale, let that knee fall in towards the body, over towards that left side. Maybe hug it in by hugging the back of the right leg into the body. And releasing that nice and slow. Right knee heads back. Maybe we use our finger pads this time to, again, encourage it away. Maybe we don't. Please keep a flex into that right foot. Without the use of the hands now. Core and hip strength. Lift the leg structure up. Both feet flexed. Draw that right shin in closer to the chest. And then maybe reach through and interlace and draw it in closer using that right elbow inside the right knee. Draw it in. So again, a couple breaths here just to relax into the pose. Keep both feet flexed. 2 more full rounds of breath. And then lightly release your clasp. Let the left knee come back down to the mat. Release the right ankle. Draw the right knee back into the chest. Again, pick up the left knee. Let it come into the chest. Big squeeze as the tailbone lifts. And then allow that tailbone to come back down to the mat so you feel the whole spine supported. Hands on top of the knees, nice and light. Let them go right and left. Big, wide V here. Send them down towards the back of your mat as you almost like roll onto that tailbone. And then as you draw the knees back into the chest, roll up the spine and just make the movement. So here, we're internally and externally rotating through both hip joints. But at the same time, from that tailbone, rolling up the spine, a nice back massage. Reverse it, take it the opposite way. And then draw the knees back into the chest one last time. We'll plant the feet on the mat, shift the knees over to one side, and allow ourselves to come all the way to all fours. Again, maybe using your towel to pad up the knees. And as you arrive into all fours, again, wrists are right underneath the shoulders. Knees will be right underneath the hip joint. Fingers will be spread wide. And a couple cat-cows here. So I'm going to tuck my toes under, that little 2-for-1 action, right? Press into your palms, round through your shoulders, draw your belly in. And when you're ready for your first big in-breath, lift the tailbone first, drop the belly, feel the stretch as it rolls through the front body, lift the heart. Exhale, start with that tailbone, curl it in, roll up through the spine, tuck in the chin. Again, lifting the tailbone, lifting the chest, belly drops. Press into the palms, round through the spine, tuck the chin, feel the length in the back of the neck. On your own, take a couple. Returning to a neutral table for just a moment. Again, toes tucked under. Set the hips back here. Walk the fingers forward. So let the belly rest on the thighs. Drop the head down any amount onto a block, onto a blanket. Stretch the arms out. Feel the space underneath the arms. And if this is a short practice for you this morning, congratulate yourself on finding your way to the mat and taking the time to start your day. Please turn off your device and just enjoy a few breaths on your own. If you're staying with me, return to your tabletop. Hands come back underneath the shoulders. Take that left leg out to the side, our gate pose, toes pointing towards the top of your mat. Again, the fingers are spread wide and that left foot has toes tucked. So just some movement here. Big breath in as you draw the belly in, set the hips back any amount. Feel it in the quad, feel it in the back of the hamstring on the other side, and then return forward. We're going to take 5, nice and slow. We're not resting back on that heel. We're just gliding the hips back, opening the inner thigh. On this last one, as you drop those hips back, pause there. If it feels good to come down onto your forearms, enjoy that. Nice straight spine, head in line with the spine, set the hips back. So this here, it's not a dynamic pose. This we're just strengthening here. A little bit of stretch through that quad, through that right foot, through that left inner thigh. But draw the belly in, 3 breaths. Next inhale, returning back to our palms. Press the hips up, pause there, draw the belly in. Take that left leg, swing it around behind you, even with your hip. So take the right hand to the sacrum. All 5 toes on the left side pointing straight down, but your hands are going to tell you that your hips are level. So find that levelness here. And we're going to hug the elbows in, and we're going to just lift the knee up or the leg up towards the ceiling, any amount, squeeze through the glutes, and then return back, level hips, level leg. 4 more. Draw it down, lift, squeeze the glute, and back, and down, and back, and down, and back. Last one, squeeze it in. Bring it back. Drop the ball of the foot down. Press through that left heel. Get nice and long in the back of the leg. And then draw the left knee back in. Tabletop, cat and a cow. Front body and back body. One more. And then we'll move to the other side. So coming back to that neutral table, I'm just going to switch around here so I don't hit my coffee table. Right leg extends out to the side, toes pointing forward. So I kind of like to look down my left knee and right heel kind of in one line with my hands underneath my shoulders. Take a full breath in. Tuck those back left toes and then just sit the hips back. Keep that belly in as you come back forward. Set them back and forward. 3 more on your own. Good. As you press this last one back, we're going to pause. Again, belly hugs in. Maybe we drop to the forearms. Sit back into the pose. We're not resting, but we're not moving. So just breathe into wherever you're feeling the stretch. 4 nice full rounds of breath. As you're ready, returning back to the palms. Good. We're going to swing that leg behind us. Again, I've just moved. You don't need to move, just for the camera here. Extend the right leg long behind you, even with your hips. Take that left hand to the sacrum. Feel the 2 hip bones, all 5 toes pointing down. Draw in the belly. Full breath. Hug the elbows in, nose towards the mat. Squeeze those glutes. Lift that right leg up any amount. Press back through your palms. 4 more. Last one. Level it out. Draw the right knee in, a cat and a cow, just to release the spine. And again, let's just set the hips back, knees together. No, let's do knees wide as you can. Big toe mounds together. So again, another big opening through the inner thighs, through the outer hips. So as you walk the hands forward, a couple options. You can stack them just to rest your head on them. You can reach those fingertips forward to get that nice extension all the way through the back body, all the way to the fingers. Taking a couple rounds of breath. Okay, returning back, bring the hands back, knees together. We'll find that tabletop one more time, just as a transition so that we can move right into a downward facing dog. So toes tucked under, belly tucked in, press into your feet, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, and then use your palms to press those hips back. So the heels can stay elevated. You can walk it out, one heel at a time. Notice what you're doing with your head and your neck. Let it hang free and loose. Next time the right heel goes back, press it back and hold. Press through your palms, send that chest closer to the thighs, just stretching through the back of the leg. We'll switch it out, come up onto the ball of the right foot, send the left heel down towards the mat. Press the hands away. Coming back up onto both balls of the feet. Come up high, heels high. Now both heels at the same time. Press into your palms. Hips go back. Heels come down any amount. Let the head hang. And then we're going to just shift the weight. Bring both of the feet together, but shift the weight into that right foot. Lift the left leg long behind you. Three-legged dog. Take a bend into that knee. Let the heel fall back towards the glute. Open up the hip. Maybe take a circle or two. And the opposite way. And then open back, three-legged dog. Press into the palms. On your in-breath, left knee comes over toward the right elbow. Inhale, we press back. Knee comes in towards the nose. Inhale, press it back. Knee comes over toward that left elbow. Pause there. Now we're going to move into a pigeon pose. So drop that knee and the shin down and extend the right leg. Now, if pigeon is not in your practice, I want you to use zigzag. So coming onto that left hip and zigzag the legs. Okay, so you're not in full pigeon, but you don't have all the pressure in the knees. And then from here, you can come down. So a zigzag, I don't know if you can, one foot's like parallel to the mat, as is the other. Otherwise, if you're with me in our pigeon pose, sending that right leg back, wherever you are, zigzag or pigeon, press into your palms. Get nice and long in the front body. And then slowly draw down to the forearms. Maybe release the head, the chest. And again, you can do this from that 90-90 zigzag position. Take in a couple deep breaths. If you're in pigeon with me here and you want to add in a little bit of a quad stretch, it's a deep one. Take in a full breath, bend into the right knee. Bring the right foot up. Take the left hand, reach around maybe for the pant leg or the ankle, the shin, and draw that heel in towards the glute. Again, we don't pull or push, right? Just bring it in till you feel sensation in the quad. And notice your breath. If you've got the quad stretch, gently release it. Let the leg go back long. Take one more breath here. Let's rise back up here. Now on our hands, proud pigeon one more time. And then we'll all roll over onto that left hip, and we're going to swing the right leg around the side, forward and in. So that right leg is going to move all the way around through that hip joint. Place the right foot outside of the left thigh. Squeeze the right knee into the chest. Sit up nice and tall. Take in the breath, and we're just going to take a little twist here over to the right. So hug in the knee. Right hand comes behind you. Get nice and tall. So even though this is a spinal twist, what I want you to feel in so that you feel that nice stretch there. At the same time, maintain your breath and the length in the body. One more breath. Then slowly, head comes forward, shoulders come forward. Take that counter stretch, both hands over to the opposite side. Take a gentle bow. And press yourself back up. Unravel. Make your way back to your table, only to transition back into your downward facing dog. So again, when you arrive, let the head drop, pedal out the feet. Notice now maybe a little bit more length, a little bit more ease in the back of those legs. Come up high on the balls of both feet, and then lower the heels down any amount. Push through the palms. Find that length in the back of the legs. Big breath in. Then bring the big toes together in the center of the mat. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right leg lifts. Press through the hands. Bend that right knee. Let that right heel fall in towards the glute as you open up and stack the hips to the side. Take a couple circles here. Right into the hip. And reverse. Return, extend back, three-legged dog. Here we go. Take the breath in. Right knee, cross the body towards the left elbow. Inhale, sends it back. Knee to nose, core plank. Send it back on the inhale. Right knee, right elbow, pause. Then drop that knee by that right wrist. Find your pigeon here. Slide that left leg long behind you, or drop over onto that right hip and just find your zigzag here. So I'm going to do zigzag this side. So full pigeon winner. Plant the hands. Proud pigeon here. Even though I'm resting on my right side, lift the chest and walk the hands forward. Pausing here. Couple breaths. If you're in traditional pigeon and you want to bend that knee and take that quad stretch, please do it now. If you're with me in that zigzag position, maybe the left hand reaches around for that ankle or shin, and we take that left knee a little bit further back towards the mat, just to engage the quad. Nice and easy. Whatever position, we'll release that. Taking in a full breath, coming back to our proud pigeon, palms plant, chest lifts. So I'm already resting on my right hip, but if you're in pigeon pose, drop to that right hip, take that left leg, swing it around to the side in front, and then bend the knee and plant that foot on the outside of your right thigh. Hug the knee in so you can find some length in the back body. Soften the shoulders. So we're going to take a twist now over to the left, hugging in the left knee with the right elbow. Left hand comes behind you. Press into the fingers, find some length. And as you find some length, draw that left knee in a little bit closer and begin to feel that stretch. Again, that piriformis, glute, all the way down, that connection to the hamstring. And soften where you can soften here. Easy breath in and an easy breath out. Keep hugging it in. Notice what you're feeling here. Let that whole left hip kind of join in that hug. Let the head come forward. Let the torso come forward. Let's take that counter stretch now. Both hands over to the right. Bow down. Full deep breath. And release. Press back into your palms. This time, as you unravel, send the legs long. Coming into Dandasana pose, staff pose. So again, heels press down and away, and the toes flare. The fingertips come tented right by the hips so that you can press into the fingertips and lift the spine, lift the chest. Feel your sit bones. Feel those heels pressing away. Draw in the belly, lift the arms out to the side. Take the hands overhead, find your prayer. Then take a fold forward. Let the hands fall wherever they want to fall. We want to keep a nice long spine, neck in line with the spine. Use the hands on the shins or the ankles. Draw the chest forward like you could between your arms. Take the breath, draw in the belly. Keep pressing the heels away. And then maybe as you squeeze the belly in, there's a little more room to come down. So again, here, even though you might feel it in the back of the legs, the focus is, what do you feel wrapping from that low back through the glutes to the connection of the hamstring? Full breath in and out. Gaze past those toes. Take a full deep breath in. Take those arms out, extend them forward, extend them up to the ceiling. Find that prayer again and draw it right into the heart. Take a breath. So we're going to release the hands to the mat. We're going to just kind of scooch forward with the hips just a bit to come onto those forearms. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Extend the legs long, and this time point the toes. So lots of space on the top of the feet and on the top of the ankle there. Press into your elbows and begin to arch through the spine, lift the chest, let the head fall back into that trapezius. You've got a little shelf there for support. Open up through the throat. Full breath. And as you release the breath, begin rounding down, low back, back ribs, shoulder blades, and head. down to the mat. Take in a full breath. Bend both knees. Draw them into the chest one last time. Take that advantage of that stretch into the low back. Release the arms out to a T with those knees in close to the chest. Just drop them over to the left. So the whole upper body, arms wide, shoulders soft on the mat. Just take a gentle twist here. Beginning to stack those hips one on top of the other, deepens the spinal twist. But if you want one last stretch, maybe that top leg extends out, nice and straight on a diagonal. Maybe you scooch that bottom heel in closer to the glute. So maybe you reach down for that big toe. Again, soften those shoulders down. So long stretch through the top leg, a quad stretch through that bottom leg, but from the belly up, everything soft. Enjoy 3 breaths. Next breath, we'll release that big toe on the bottom if you have it. Rebend into that top knee. Just pause for a moment. Extend those arms back out to a T. Maybe rotate the head to the opposite side if it feels good. Then draw in your core. Draw those knees back into the chest. Pause there so that you can feel the spine, the hips realign. And then drop them over to the right. So again, upper body soft. Full breath. If you want it deeper, left leg kind of extends off on a diagonal. The right heel kind of tucks in towards that glute as the left hand reaches for the big toe or the top of the ankle. So you find your stretch this morning, but see if you can keep the upper body nice and soft. 3 breaths. We'll release that bottom foot if you have it. We'll draw in the top leg, so we're back into that gentle spinal twist. The arms come back to a T. Maybe here again, if it feels good, you just rotate the head to the left. Easy breath. Core power here. Both knees come back to center. We always pause at center. Feel the spine, level out the hips. And then one at a time, release the right leg long to the corner of the mat. Let the foot just fall open. The left leg to the left corner of the mat. And that foot releases as well. The arms are extended away from the body. Maybe this time flip the palms up towards the ceiling, that mudra to receive. A slight squeeze of the shoulder blades, a slight tuck of the chin. Allow the eyes to close down. Allow the body here to just release. Notice any clenching, the jaw, the face, the tongue, the glutes. Take in a full breath. Exhale, let everything be heavy and loose. And enjoy Shavasana. I'm going to leave you here because I want you to enjoy a longer resting period. So I'm going to leave the Zoom room. Take the next couple minutes and just simply breathe. I'll see you tomorrow for a Friday flow.